Islington Town Hall.
Are you connected? Yeah. I'm still connected, yeah.
No pressure. Yeah, should we start chanting?
Alright, slight technical hitch, but we'll review in a minute.
Just play the countdown music. Yeah. Push up.
Sorry, all that effort to put the music on. So good afternoon, everybody, and on behalf of Jonathan and Sophie, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to the Council Chamber at Islington Town Hall. My name is Sarah. I will conduct the ceremony, and Genevieve will complete the schedule, which is the legal record of the marriage. You have shared in and contributed to their lives in the past, and by witnessing their marriage ceremony today, Jonathan and Sophie ask you to share in their future. Sophie and Jonathan, marriage is a promise made in the hearts of two people who love each other. Within the circle of its love, it encompasses all of life's most important relationships. May you pledge to each other to be loving friends and partners in marriage, to talk and to listen, to trust and appreciate each other, and to respect and cherish each other's uniqueness. May you also pledge to support, comfort and strengthen each other through life's joys and sorrows. This place, in which we are now met, has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriages. We are here today to witness the joining in matrimony of this couple and to share in their happiness. However, I'm duty-bound to ask that if there is any person here present who knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, they should declare it now. So, really proud. So, take a seat there for a moment while I invite Jo forward to come and stand in front of the table and give us the first greeting.
My name is Sophie and her husband Jon. Everything I know about love. I know that love can be loud and jubilant. It can be dancing in the swampy mud and in the pouring rain, at a festival and shouting, "You are amazing," over the band. It's introducing them to your colleagues at a work event and basking in pride as they make people laugh and make you look lovable just by dint of being loved by them. It's laughing until you wheeze. It's waking up in a country neither you have been to before. It's skinny dipping at dawn. It's walking along the street together on a Saturday night and feeling an entire city is yours. It's a big, beautiful, ebullient force of nature, but I also know that love is a pretty quiet thing. It's lying on the sofa together drinking coffee, talking about where you're going that morning, afternoon, or in Sophie and Jon's case, the early evening, to drink more coffee. It's folding down pages of books you think they'd find interesting. It's hanging up their laundry when they leave the house, having ironically forgotten to take it out of the washing machine. It's saying you're safer here than in a car as they hyperventilate on an EasyJet flight to Dublin. It's the text. Hope your day goes well. How did it go today? Thinking of you today. You picked up the loo rolls? I know that love happens under the splendour of moon and stars and fireworks and sunset, but it also happens when you're lying on blow-up airbeds in a childhood bedroom, sitting in A&E, or a queue for a passport, or in a traffic jam. Love is a quiet, reassuring, relaxing, pottering, pedantic, harmonious hum of a thing, something you can easily forget is there, even though its palms are outstretched beneath you in case you fall. Love you both very much, Sophie and Jon.
Before you are joined in matrimony, it is my duty to remind you of the solemn and binding character of the vows you are about to make. Marriage in this country means the union of two people, voluntarily entered into for life, to the exclusion of all others. So I'm now going to ask each of you in turn to declare that you know of no legal reason why you may not be married tonight. Jonathan, I'm going to start with you and ask you please to repeat after me. I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
That I know not.
That I know not.
Of any lawful impediment.
Of any lawful impediment.
Why I, Jonathan Andrew Hart.
Why I, Jonathan Andrew Hart.
May not be joined in matrimony.
May not be joined in matrimony.
To Sophie Rachel Moonshine.
To Sophie Rachel Moonshine.
Sophie? I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
That I know not.
That I know not.
Of any lawful impediment.
Of any lawful impediment.
Why I, Sophie Rachel Moonshine.
Why I, Sophie Rachel Moonshine.
May not be joined in matrimony.
May not be joined in matrimony.
To Jonathan Andrew Hart.
To Jonathan Andrew Hart.
So now that you've done that bit, you said solemnly without falling over. I'll ask you to sit down again and invite Barbara to come forward with her readings. Anywhere in the front is absolutely fine.
Hello everybody. I am one of Sophie's aunts, and I just wanted to read out a couple of things that they feel happy about. Okay? I do not want to have you to fill the empty parts of me. I want to be full on my own. I want to be so complete I could light a whole city, and then I want to have you, because the two of us combined could set it on fire. And the second one is, I want you to wipe away everything you know about love and start with one word, kindness. Give it to them, let them give it to you. Be two pillars, equal in your love, and you will carry empires on your backs.
So now that you have declared that you are free to marry, we've come to the part of the ceremony where you're about to make your marriage contract with each other. I ask you now, in the presence of this company, Jonathan, do you take Sophie to be your wife? And do you promise to stay true to her as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Sophie, do you take Jonathan to be your husband? And promise to stay true to him as long as you both shall live?
I do.
You ask the people who are able to stand as the couple make their contracting vows. We'll get the two of you to turn to face one another, because although you're repeating after me, you're saying these most important words to the person standing in front of you. Jonathan, I will ask you again, first of all, to repeat after me. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Jonathan, do take thee, Sophie, to be my lawful wedded wife. And Sophie? I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Sophie, do take thee, Jonathan, to be my lawful wedded husband. Lovely. I'll ask your guests to sit down and invite George to come forward with the rings. So a wedding ring is the ancient and traditional way of sealing the contract that you have just made. It is an unbroken circle which symbolises unending and everlasting love, and is the outward sign to the world of the promises you've made to each other today. So George, if I can ask you to give Jonathan Sophie's ring first. And then you'll stay in the vicinity. That's lovely. Thank you. So Jonathan, if you'd like to place the ring part way on your bride's hand and say to her, Sophie, I give you this ring as a token of our marriage and a symbol of our love. I promise to love, honour and care for you, to support you through good fortune and adversity, joy and sadness, and to be your friend for as long as we both shall live. And place the ring all the way on. Perfect. And George, if you'd like to give Sophie Jonathan's ring. And then... So Sophie, if you'd like to place the ring part way on Jonathan's finger and say to him, Jonathan, I give you this ring as a token of our marriage and a symbol of our love. I promise to love, honour and care for you, to support you through good fortune and adversity, joy and sadness, and to be your friend as long as we both shall live. And place that all the way on. So, Jonathan and Sophie, these vows which unite you as husband and wife constitute a formal and public pledge of your love for each other. You have both now made the declarations required by law, and you have made a solemn and binding contract with one another in the presence of your witnesses, family, friends, and the Registrar of Marriages. It therefore gives me the greatest of pleasure to announce you are now legally husband and wife. Congratulations, you make us one another. So if I can invite you to take your seats at the table, and other Jonathan, if we can have some music, please.
There we go. All right. Big smiles to me. Yes, lovely. Yeah. Lovely. Lovely. Thank you.
Sophie and Jonathan.
Have you got some?
I didn't think
Get 2 pounds if there's more. And you need more.
So much confetti, it's got to go.
Everything must go.
And Tommy, kiss.
Shouldn't have got the cheap stuff.
Kiss.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all right. Keep walking to the pub.
Prime Video.
Taking confetti out of my hair.
Oh, I mean, and you're going to do it likewise to John now as well.
It's very primal.
Does it taste good? Is it edible? That'd be good, wouldn't it? There is certainly enough of it on the ground.
Good. Now, no one's hitting by the face, sorry, because we can spread up. I think you're just below. If you can see that your mouth is below, you're going to be like this. So yeah, that's great. Oh, that's it. I can see all faces. Just if we just step out a little bit. Yeah, great. All right. Big smiles for me. Lovely. Big smiles, and then.
Right then, best people, how's it going? It's almost your time to shine, is it not?
Well, like they've got married, so I feel like we've done our job.
Oh, yeah.
You got off to a bad start. We didn't quite get there on time, but close enough.
We left him alone.
And what happened?
He blocked the
He
shower.
flooded his bathroom.
He flooded the bathroom.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Right, on your pop.
Everyone does that.
Okay, hold it there. Very good, and then meet and have a kiss. Hold it there. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Half done. It's easy now.
Speech and a DJ set.
Get up there. Thank you.
Cheers. Have you worked it out?
It's the other way round. That's what it's called.
Oh, is it? Is it? That's not any...
It's like I could say.
Oh dear.
Just over there.
Ah, trickery.
And if you'd like to take your seats and look this way.
Do you want me to do that?
No, you won't want to do that. Ready? Here we go. Ricky class. Hello everybody, if you'd like to take your seats, my name is Ben. If you'd like to take your seats and look this way. Hello everybody, if you'd like to take your seats and look this way and smile at me, which means stop talking. If you'd like to look this way and smile, that's it, you can do it. Hello everybody. It's the table of older people. If they were to look this way. Hello everybody and welcome. Welcome to Sophie and Jon's wedding. That was a beautiful ceremony. We are very, very excited to be here. Just so you know, Johnny's a bit of a worrier. Have you noticed that? No. John, he's a bit of a worrier. He likes things to go to time. So you're going to help us out today. You're going to help us keep things to time. My name is Ben. I am going to be your MC. You can whoop at that if you like. You're not going to hear much from me. You're going to hear from fantastic people all throughout the day. We're going to have a lovely day. It's just going to get better and better and better as we go on. Because I love weddings. Do you love weddings? Yeah! We are about to start them. And without further ado, I am very, very pleased for the first time ever to introduce, as a married couple, Sophie and Jon. And let's do it one more time. Hello everybody. I'm excited because Ruthie and Lauren are here, who I believe in the last 48 hours have done a rabbi course. And I'm going to do the beautiful symbolic Jewish part of the ceremony. Would you like to come forward, Ruthie and Lauren?
Don't worry, John, we promise we won't mention God. A Jewish ceremony may start with the decking. The checking the bride is who she says she is. Sophie, obviously, will be checking the driver's license and passport shortly after this visit. Then we move on to the share of the whole, the 7 blessings, an integral part of the ceremony, beginning with the blessing over the wine. The cup of wine is symbolic of the cup of life. This blessing says, as you share this cup of wine, you promise to share all that the future may bring, and may you draw contentment, comfort and happiness from your own cup of life. May you find life's joys heightened, its bitterness sweetened, and all things hallowed by true respect, companionship and love. The rest of the blessings celebrate love, commitment and the joy of marriage. They express wishes for the couple's happiness, unity and the growth of their relationship. These blessings also honour the beauty of creation, the hope for a future filled with love and family and the deep connection that marriage brings. They then bless the couple separately. Their relationship as beloved companions requires that each be able to stand alone, even as they come together, bringing individual gifts to the marriage. The last blessing blesses the couple as they rejoice together, united in gladness.
Unlike a wedding that ends with a kiss, Jewish weddings end very differently. We like to smash things, specifically glass. Although the origins of breaking the glass are not entirely clear, it's one of the most important elements of a Jewish wedding. So Sophie and Jon have chosen to include this ancient ritual as part of their wedding day, as a symbolic nod to their Jewish identity. Sorry, J identity. The saying goes, you can forego almost every other element, but if you aren't breaking the glass, people will not believe you're really married. Many cultures break something upon confirmation of a contract, and as we've just seen, Sophie and Jon exchange vows. They are now contractually bound, as the many lawyers in this room will probably appreciate. So the breaking of the glass is one way to signify this. Another of the explanations is we should consider the fragility of relationships. Just as the glass is fragile, so is love. It reminds us to take care of our relationship. It also has been interpreted to demonstrate how life is fragile, so the couple should enjoy every day as if it were their last together. Beyond that, the interpretations range from the humorous, such as this is the last time the groom will put his foot down, to the much more beautiful reason that smashing, or wife, you could say, the more beautiful reason that smashing a valuable item symbolises marriage, and it's not about material goods, but about two people being together and committed to each other. After they break the glass, they will be breaking the glass now, so after they do that, we all shout Mazel Tov, which means congratulations. So, Sophie and Jon? Come on, wish for you that,
Your safety goggles.
as this glass shatters, so may marriage never break.
Go for Jon.
Both of us.
No, you do it.
It goes out 4 foot.
Go with the 4 foot. You ready?
Really hard.
That was beautiful. Mazel tov. I'm excited before we start the food to Sophie. I know that you're giving a speech. You can blink twice if this is under duress. Without further ado, Sophie, some words from you.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to take a moment to thank you all for being here today and for Ruthie and Lauren for becoming actual rabbis to perform that ceremony. It really means so much to Jon and me that everyone could join us to celebrate this very special day with us. We feel incredibly lucky to have such amazing family and friends in our lives, and your presence here makes this day even more special. Before I go any further, I think we should all give a big round of applause to my husband. For cancelling his squash league game tonight. Amazing that he showed up on time rather than at the end of the event. And he was given a fake start time of 6 a.m. last Tuesday to make sure he arrived on time. And it was still touch and go earlier. I would like to thank Jon for always being so caring and genuinely thoughtful. Someone who notices and pays attention to the small things in life that make it extra special. And for being so much fun, supporting me, and being truly hilarious, and as many people who know you will agree, utterly unique. When we first met, we instantly clicked, and I knew that it wasn't just any other date. You managed to master the art of giving the appearance of being a conventional North Londoner. But I quickly realised that you were nothing of the sort, and I absolutely loved it. You make me very happy, and I'm so excited for our future, and I know there will be much laughter, and a confusing amount of trips to Centre Parks. And watching you watch reruns of Les Mis. Little guilty pleasure there. I would like to thank my lovely in-laws, Shirley and Henry, for all your help and support. Not only with today, but since we met, you have both been so incredibly kind in welcoming me into your family. And I know that my parents would have been so delighted to have our families unite. To my dearest Aunt Barbara and Costas, Barbara. Thank you for always being at the end of the phone and for your endless wisdom and positivity, which has guided me through challenging times. And wishing you a very happy birthday for Monday. And many thanks to my aunts, uncles, cousins, and honorary cousins for being a beautifully supportive crew and welcoming Jon so warmly into the family. I'm also very lucky to have a special godmother, Jo, in my life. Thank you for everything and for all your love and care and for being so vivacious. And to all Mum's friends here tonight, you're amazing. I would like to thank my brilliant friend and chief organiser Katie for arranging an amazing hen party and for indulging my artistic vision, which was so much fun. and for everyone getting involved and making it such a success. Rosie, thank you so much for making a speech later on, despite having a very small baby Frankie who's there. He looks very cute today, and I will repay you in babysitting. Now, some of you have travelled as far as Switzerland and Iceland to be here today. A big shout out to those who have traversed the wild roads from Hertfordshire, and some even as far as South London. We're so grateful for the effort you've all made to be here today to share the day with us. But this day is more than just about us, and it sounds very cheesy, but it's about all of you, our incredible friends and family, who have been with us through so many different stages of our lives, the ups, the downs, and the everyday life. Genuinely, your love and support has shaped us, and we're so thankful for each of you. So, we ask that everyone relax, enjoys the evening, and shares a dance with us later on when DJ Razor Roof steps up to the dance. We are actually all here today so that Jon finally has a captive audience. None of you are allowed to leave until he's finished, and the doors will be locked. Thank you again for being here, and it really makes us so happy that you're celebrating with us. So please enjoy and have a great time. Thank you.
Hello everybody, if you'd like to just look this way for a second. I'm absolutely delighted to introduce you to... He said I wasn't allowed to say his name. Okay, the father of the groom.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Henry.
Hi Henry. Hi Henry.
Jonathan's father. I would just like to say... I would just like to say a few words about Jonathan and his new wife Sophie, who I might say is looking absolutely beautiful. I know that Jonathan is now terrified that I'm going to embarrass him. However, I'll leave that to the best man and the best woman. In fact, he's so worried he's only allocated me 2 minutes for the speech.
You're already out 2 minutes.
Shirley and I are so happy to be sharing this wonderful day with you all. A day that we hoped would happen as soon as we met Sophie for the first time. We knew then that she was someone very special. Jonathan, our dear son, how can I possibly sum up the love and admiration your mother and I have for you in just 2 minutes? But I'll give it my best shot. We are so proud of your many academic achievements. You have excelled in your career in television, and you are especially proud, and we are, always have such determination to succeed in whatever you do. We're also especially proud of your excellent DIY skills. Of talent which you definitely didn't inherit from me. Sophie, Sherry and I are obviously very sad that we never knew your parents, but we are sure that they would be incredibly proud of you in every way of your career achievements and your warm, kind and caring nature. We are so impressed with your ability to stay calm when all around you are stressed, especially during the wedding preparations. We are overjoyed that you are now a member of our family. We couldn't have handpicked a more amazing daughter-in-law. If we tried, sorry, I can't say more wonderful things about you both, but unfortunately my time is up. Oh dear, I mustn't forget to say how lovely Shirley is looking tonight. Or she will never forgive me. Please raise a glass to Sophie and Jonathan into a lifetime of love, laughter and happiness. To Sophie and Jonathan.
This time I am very, very pleased. That's quite loud. I'm very, very pleased to introduce you. We are Please turn the mic down just a tiny bit. Thank you. I'm very pleased to introduce you to someone that I've known, I think, since I was 11 years old. Today's groom, looking very suave, Jonathan.
Right. One second, we're good. As the great squash player Jonah Barrington once said, in a world where possibilities abound, there lies an inherent responsibility upon our esteemed athletes to foster and advocate for squash. What does that have to do with my marriage to Sophie, you may ask? Well, not a lot. But with its popularity dwindling and squash finally joining the Olympics in 2028, I feel it's important to use every platform as a PR opportunity for the world's finest sport/centre parks activity. Anyway, squash aside, let's get back to the reason we're all here. Raise the Roof Disco's latest DJ gig. Yes, many years ago, when I was still young and vibrant, I would actually be able to secure DJ gigs with minimal effort. Nowadays, it takes slightly more effort. Join a dating app, embark on 10 to 15 years of unsuccessful dates and a few failed relationships, meet the perfect person, move in with them, fly to Jamaica, propose on a beach with an engagement ring that had been stashed in my pants for 6 hours to avoid detection due to the earlier romantic sunset bar we booked, turning out to essentially be a Club 18 to 30 party, which is definitely not romantic. Failing my efforts to draw out the engagement for 5 to 7 years, and settle on 14 months, and then organise a wedding. Quite some lengths to go to for a DJ gig, I'm sure you'll agree. With hindsight, I probably could have just turned up at an open deck night at a pub. But as the great squash player Jan Chicago said, it is through our mistakes that we learn and improve as players. So here we are at the depot, which I'm sure you will agree, to coin a phrase once used by Phil, who is here tonight, just the right side of squad. I'm joking, it's lovely, thank you. Excellent feelings, thank you. But of course I jest. This is very much more than Raise the Roof Disco's triumphant comeback gig and a PR opportunity for squash. This is Sophie and my wedding! Finally, who would have thought after all these years someone would take me? I have to be honest, it was touch and go for a long time. It takes a lot to tie this loose cannon down, but who better to step up to the challenge than Sophie? Yeah. To be fair, she does have form in this field. Sophie's first boyfriend later turned out to be gay. Now that may not seem to me immediately relevant. But I like to think it speaks to her ability to see potential in a lost cause. A skill she has continued to develop throughout her life. Our love story began, as all great romances do, on Jace Way, a Jewish dating app that I joined, despite being at best indifferent about Judaism, and at worst, outwardly atheistic. At the time, I failed to factor that meeting Sophie on the Jewish dating site would give her great leverage in future negotiations on synagogue and religious festival attendance, but at least it kept my parents happy. Now, for anyone considering online dating, here are some key pieces of advice. Number 1, ensure your profile photo includes a picture of you lying in a bunk bed, thus making your residential status highly ambiguous. Thanks to Mark Anderson's son for the overlay accommodation. Number 2, ensure you have a photo of you eating a chicken and chorizo sandwich, which eagle-eyed potential suitors will point out is definitely not kosher, leading to cross-examination on your motivations for using the aforementioned Jewish dating site. Number 3, this is probably the most important one. Age is merely an abstract and fluid concept. So definitely tweak your age downwards by at least 2 years, thus taking yourself out of the taboo 38 to 40 bracket. You can judge me all you want, but you wouldn't be sitting here eating that meal if I wouldn't have done that. Fourth and finally, as the great squash player Jahangir Khan once said, if you have a burning ambition and desire, absolutely anything can be achieved. So if you heed mine and Jahangir's advice, you too can bag yourself a young, attractive, successful solicitor. Of course, just make sure you turn up late and inexplicably sweaty to every day. The second of which must be a historical ghost walking tour. From the moment I met Sophie, I knew I found the one. Despite the slight mismatch in our interpretation of fashion, I remember thinking she had made a conscious effort to look cool and aloof by wearing old, tatty clothes. Sophie, however, furiously maintains that she was, in fact, wearing her best outfit. But even with her terrible dress sense, yes, I appreciate what I would be saying that. It is a cravat, and no, I have not been bequeathed a stately home. I was absolutely 100% certain that Sophie had reasonable potential. A phrase which I once used to describe her squash prowess, resulting in me now sadly being forced to play on my own on our training camp, holidays abroad. I think it's fair to say, and I've no doubt we will all agree, that I am punching well above my weight. Glad the me punching above my weight got the loudest applause. Yes, to bridge this gap with me punching above my weight and secure my position as Sophie's suitor, I have done what anybody in my shoes would do. I have filled the flat with technology that ensures that without me, Sophie is completely helpless. What technology, I think you was? Cutting-edge voice-activated smart technology, geofencing automatic routines run on a custom-programmed Rockwell retro encabulator with unilateral phase detectors. No, I set the Sky remote to control both the Skybox and the TV. On the rare occasion I'm out and for some reason Sophie is not, she has been known to sit staring at a blank screen for up to 7 hours awaiting my return, so she can finally watch Selling Sunset. In the last couple of years, and particularly in the last few months, we've ticked off a number of major life events. Had a cat, got engaged, changed jobs, tried to move house, Sophie had a swollen finger, failed to move house, been shopping in Westfield Stratford. My friend Andrew summed it up perfectly when he asked if we were trying to complete a life event bingo speedrun. So yes, it has been challenging and we've had difficult times, but as the great squash player Jan Chikon once said, the women's game has often saved the men.
Oh, he's joking.
It's good. It's really good. We've gone through this difficult period because of Sophie's hard work, organisation and ruthless efficiency. I'm sure her work colleagues will agree. Her work ethic is inspirational. She just gets her head down and gets on with it. She achieves more in a morning than I do in a month, so I feel very lucky to have her as a partner, even if I bring limited resources to the table. On top of this, she is fiercely loyal to her friends and family, never saying no to an invitation. She only ever cancels if she is physically incapable of standing up, or if she has a slight swelling on her finger. I know, it was big, they tried to remove it out. But in all seriousness, Sophie's strength of character is astonishing. She has had to endure a lot in her life, tragically having lost her father Anthony at the age of 8, and her mother Angela at 22, both of whom are dearly missed tonight.
Here. Yes.
She has faced those challenges as an only child, yet despite it all, she has built an incredible life and successful career, and your parents and grandparents would be unbelievably proud of you today, Sophie. So Sophie, I'm incredibly fortunate to have found you and so grateful you decided to choose me to spend the rest of your life with. Here's to many adventures ahead. Please can we raise a toast to my wife, Sophie? Sophie! I'd like to thank a few people. Thank you to Joe and Barbara for their excellent readings at the ceremony. Thanks very much to my best people, George and Nick. I look forward to them publicly sending me in their speech later. Thanks to Rosie for Sophie's speech later. Thanks for Ben for doing such a sterling job emceeing tonight. Thanks to Stephanie for the photography. Thank you, Stephanie. And to Dom, particularly for his excellent video skills and the huge amount of prep he's put in. Thanks to the staff at the depot for the great food and service, and to Shannon, Magda and Imogen for working so hard with us over the past months to organise this. Particularly huge thanks to the DJs, John, Andrew, Lauren and Charlie. Thank you. I really appreciate the effort you put into preparing under difficult circumstances, and by circumstances, I mean me and my very specific music requirements. Sorry again, and thank you. Thank you to Sophie's friends and family and work colleagues for being so supportive for her and for organising what looked like a fantastic ending. But most of all, thank you to my fantastic parents, Shirley and Henry. You put up a lot with her. They're cool. You put up with a lot for me under difficult circumstances, with the constant stress of dealing with my brother, which you cope with amazingly well. Despite this, you're always there for me and willing to help at the drop of the hat. Oh, sorry, we're not allowed to mention hats. It's complicated. That's me there. So although I rarely show it, I'm extremely grateful. Also, sorry we're not getting married in a garden park as you was a big car park. Apologies if I missed anyone, but please have a big round of applause for everyone who's contributed tonight. Okay, with that rare moment of sincerity from me over, back to avoiding tricky emotions using humour. As the great squash player Cynthia I find that vegetables like butternut squash, which I feel unexcited about as a side dish, work extremely well in a soup. Thinking about it, possibly Cynthia wasn't a squash player. I may have exhausted the internet of squash quotes. Probably a good time to end. So it just remains for me to say thank you so much to everyone for coming. We are so happy to celebrate with you all. And you've got a fantastic night ahead of you. So please eat, drink and enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much.
That was fucking funny, mate.
Oh yeah, that's done.
All I gotta say is it's good luck, George and Nick.
Hello everybody. If you'd like to look this way. Hi Dom. Woo! If you'd like to look this way, we're into the quite exciting part of the evening. This is a bit where we get to hear, not from John, not from Sophie, but from people who have known them the longest. I'm quite excited, especially to to be here with Rosie, who I know has known Sophie for longer than nearly any other person in this room. So a round of applause for Rosie.
Good evening, everyone. Can I get a raised glass for Sophie and Jon to start with? I was going to promise you that I'm not going to talk about squash myself. I think I have got a squash tag, so I'm really sorry. All the mentions of squash are so, some of you may remember me from Sophie's Batman speech, when I outlined Sophie's relentless, and as I think the videos will confirm, successful quest for the perfect dress. Well, it's 20 years on, and much has changed. Sophie graduated from JFS, excelled at university, gaining a first degree, a second set of best friends, and a third pair of vomit-soaked robes. Not content with this, she knocked on law school between bouts of travelling and then set her sights on becoming a lawyer. The rest, of course, is history. With hard work and determination and brains, Sophie built herself an amazing career. We, of course, were all incredibly proud and just a tiny bit surprised. Not her achievement, she's always been so talented, and that was a given because that she would do well. But that our crazy, funny friend was doing something quite so grown up. We had thought the world of corporate law was boring, but we were wrong. Remarkably, she has a more punishing and boozier social life. More punishing and boozier social life schedule now than she did as a student. Having thrived at her first firm, Sophie then hit the headlines of the business pages as one of the notorious Memory Crystal Four, who began a mass exodus that almost brought the famous city firm to its knees. A spokesman for the firm cried, "It was the moonshine what did it." But though much has changed, some things remain the same. Sophie was still on a quest, this time for the perfect man. We all know Sophie is a woman of discernment, with very high standards, as anyone who's heard her on the phone to an estate agent will know. And she's always known what she wanted. Her beloved mum, Angela, had often told her that the secret of choosing a life partner was never date a man in a cardigan, brothers, or anyone who looks old from the back. Sophie had her own radical ideas. She believed women could look beyond the shimmers of Hapsigon suburb to find a husband and turn to the promised land of J-Swipe. I can see us now in the spare room of Ludlow Way, trying to take the perfect photo for her profile. Desk streamed with makeup, lights propped at flattering angles, camera waiting. She pricked her hair and pumped up her cleavage. This was going to be the hottest photo Marty Joe anyone had ever taken. Sophie turned out to be right in her instinct to turn to J-Swipe. Her quests ended here today, and it led her to Jon, a man who'd never been to Brent Cross, whose wardrobe has never seen a cardigan, don't worry, she checked, and whose standards are, if anything, even higher than her own. As Sophie found out when she came home one day to discover Jon fulfilling his lifelong dream, installing a toilet which sprays water up your bum. I'm running ahead of myself here. Sophie didn't find Jon immediately, and just like with her bat mitzvah dress, there were many returns along the way. When she was young, Sophie liked a looker. She wanted eye candy, and she wanted it now. I remember Sophie anxiously spending the whole night bus journey from Old Street back to Finchley, hoping that this fit, hench new guy she'd seen lurking under the Golders Green Bridge would join us on the top deck. Oddly enough, after that description, I looked straight past Jon, who was indeed waiting for us at the bus stop. Though he was in our lives for some time, and was, as they say, a mensch supporting Sophie through the saddest and most difficult time of her life, Joel later revealed that he did not have what it takes when he failed to erect a tent in Sophie's living room. The search continued. Sophie decided she needed a man who was practical. There were other fleeting and less fleeting near misses. For one memorable night in Berlin, Sophie was convinced that the perfect guy was German. Whether it was her obsession with lederhosen, a one-woman fight against Brexit, or simply that we drank too much Jägermeister, I don't know. But in the club, Sophie disappeared off with handsy hands, and then 10 hours later walks up to me and said, with a classic Sophie, nah. It seems she wasn't destined to find hair right in Birmingham.
Boom!
As well as practical and of course bright, Sophie had decided, perhaps inspired by an infatuation in her formative years with Michael Owen, that her perfect man also needed to be sporty. Sophie spent many nights thinking long and hard about what would combine these requirements of sporty, practical and bright, and thus decided that her future lay in the hunky yet skilled arms of a muscular Jewish architect. But trust me, Sophie and I, we've looked high and low, and they do not exist. Sophie then considered some more evangelist stage advice, and as she decided to find the perfect man via his wardrobe. After one unsuccessful night's mission targeting the first and only besuited man in Dawson nightclub, safe to say this is not the one that got away, although he did get away fast. Sophie then overcorrected on the fashion front, spending the next few years at incomprehensible exhibitions in the company of a bedungareed artist. That too was not to last, and in 2021, Sophie renewed her quest. By now, Sophie knew she wanted a man who was well dressed, don't mention the cravat. Athletic and practical, who had a good job and made good money, but not more than her. Was clever, but not cleverer than her. And who crucially was kind. That's one hell of a package. But after over a decade of membership fees, the J-Swipe algorithm finally delivered. Enter Jon Hart. After hearing about the fun of their first few dates, his skillful hanging of new blinds at the flat, then coaxing her onto the squash court, I was becoming a believer. I first witnessed the kindness a few years ago, one cold November Sunday, as we stood outside the hospice at the annual Light Up the Life vigil that we have attended since we lost our dear Angela. We've sadly been to so many now, and Sophie every year is predictably herself, chatting away to those who come along, paying more than due interest to her friends in attendance, nodding along in fascination as she makes us recount every detail of what we've done that week, asking questions endlessly about the minutiae of our lives, showing so much care and love to us all. And as always happens, leaving everyone totally distracted, forgetting the reason we're all there. The climactic event of the Light Up Alive ceremony every year is when they turn on the fairy lights in this ginormous tree which sits outside the hospice. For years, no one has ever quite been able to support Sophie in the right way in this moment. Somehow, despite the way we try, no one is quite able to show her the deep love, care and interest she's been bestowing on us just moments before. I look worriedly over my shoulder, Anna dangles a hand close by in case she wants to reach out for it. Auntie Jo hovers up close, but somehow no gesture is quite worthy. The first year Jon came along, as everyone gathered in close and looked up expectantly at the tree, I instead looked over to Soph to see Jon put his arm around her waist and his chin on the top of her head, and I saw her whole body relax. The tree illuminated her face and a tear ran down her cheek. I hope that for the rest of your days, Jon will be the support that you so deserve and need. And Jon, just know that a life in the passenger seat on Sophie's quests will be a life well spent. You'll laugh, you'll learn the best way to do everything, and you'll witness unparalleled levels of strength and determination. Sophie really is the best person I know, and to be beside her is to be in the best seat in the house. So Sophie, on the end of a truly amazing quest, Mazel tov.
I think we need one more round of applause for that one. And finally, before you go upstairs to the bar for some, I believe, free cocktails and beer and other things to tempt you up there as they turn this into a dance floor, finally, we're about to hear from the best people. Come up to the stage, Nick and George.
Might have to do a bit of practice with this. If I hold it here, can you hear us both?
I need to talk.
You need to talk.
Yeah, I need to talk. Is that alright?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone can hear us?
Closer.
Bit up.
Stand close together. There you go. Touch
Tough
each
to
other.
follow that, isn't it?
Oh, this is not that nice. You ready?
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, traditionally, best man speeches. Sorry. Traditionally, best person speeches take on the style of character assassination of the groom. But we thought, given it's Jon's wedding day, surely it should feel different to his everyday life. So we started to compose a poem about friendship.
But as we searched our minds for inspiration, we just kept coming back to the thousands of hours spent waiting for Jon over the last 2 decades.
When we part the poem, you're going to have to wait for it. So,
Nick and I took on Project Jon from Shirley and Henry in 2003. At the time, we never would have anticipated it taking 22 years before we could pass him on again. We came close a few times, but they always realised their error before it was too late.
all it took in the end for him to find the right one was to lie about his age, mislead about his job, and his education. So today is a happy day, because we're really pleased that someone finally came along who was sufficiently young and naive. I'm only joking, so you're not late.
As mentioned at the outset, it's not the first time we've been surprised by Jon for taking too long to do something. There really are too many Jon being late anecdotes to mention here, and to be honest, they all just blur into a sea of waiting for Jon for reasons that you never really understand.
There are often clothing challenges. There are always hair challenges.
It's tricky to make your hair look just like Beckham's.
There are music challenges.
It's always time for DJing.
Cooking challenges.
Bolognese is going to batch cook itself.
Transport challenges.
Because he hasn't left his flat yet.
And household tasks. They can cause big delays.
You've got to make sure you've emptied all your bins before you leave the house.
Sometimes his unusually small hands can hold him back. Now, we realise that many of you around the room haven't had the joys of knowing Jon for as long as we have. So let us give you a quick guide.
Think of it as a combination of what you need to know and how to get the best out of your interactions.
So we've covered lateness already, but it is worth reiterating. Never, under any circumstances, give Jon the actual time you're going to meet. Sometimes, giving him the right day can be dangerous.
Now, if it's you running late, don't worry. Jon actually doesn't mind waiting for people. It gives him a rare sense of accomplishment.
Never underestimate Jon's propensity to overcomplicate a situation. Keep choices to a minimum. 0 choices is optimal. Where you see a set of simple steps, Jon sees a spider web of ways in which things can go wrong.
When they inevitably do go wrong, there will be reasons. These reasons will usually take the form of the universe conspiring against Jon. Now, you won't fully understand these reasons. Our advice is not to try.
So, given his capacity to make things complicated, You would think he would shy away from taking on tasks that most of us leave to the professionals. Oh no, not Jon. No job is too big or too small, especially when there's a bargain to be had.
Over the years, he's tried his hand at being a landlord, estate agent, conveyancer, window refurbisher, and second-hand white goods salesman.
Now, to any normally operating person, these tasks on top of your day job would be enough to send you into a spin. But for Jon, it is even more catastrophic. Surely, we hear you say, wouldn't it be better to outsource these jobs to the professionals?
Well, Jon did once decide to outsource the decorating of his flat. Now, at first, we were pleased about this. We thought it was an example of his personal growth. However, it was very important to Jon that he got the right decorator. Now, I think everyone would agree that it's important to get a few quotes.
You don't want to go with the first person that comes around. You've got to check out who's out there.
I strongly suspect, though, nobody else in this room,
apart from maybe Henry,
will have quite the same idea as Jon about how many quotes is the right balance.
We'll put you out of your misery.
23. The cheapest.
And was he happy with the job they did?
No.
But surely the whole process did save him time.
No one knows, because you can't know, because Jon Harttime is just different.
Now, it's not just practical matters where Jon can be a bit special. It can be hard to predict what he will like, but he does usually have a very strong view. Now, some things are easy.
Fruit, almost certainly no.
Vegetables, maybe, definitely not peas. It's best to check ahead of time.
Meat and fish, all of them. He's Jew-ish.
The arts, musicals, probably yes. Theatre, bit ponty, probably no. Films, impossible to know. Don't even try.
Best film ever made, Final Destination.
Seriously. This is
Sport, if F1 or squash, or a derivative of those things, like classical paddle, don't bother about anything else.
Raving, always a yes. Apart from when he's busy trying to sell dishwashers.
It's not all bad news for Sophie though. As we know, Jon is great to live with due to his perfect approach to cleaning. He simply doesn't make a mess. When you think about it, this is doubly impressive for a man who has essentially 80% body hair.
He'll also look out for your health and safety around the house. So for example, Sophie is only allowed to take water to bed in a bottle with a lid.
I'm guessing this won't need an explanation for the majority of you, as you no doubt understand the logic intuitively, but for the handful of you that look unsure, the three main reasons are...
Reason number one, Sophie might knock the water over in the night and spill it on the wires, starting an electrical fire.
Number two, the cat might drink the water, and you might not know and drink the water yourself, thereby essentially kissing the cat.
Number three, the open top water might cause condensation in the room.
They are currently in discussions over the safety procedures surrounding hot water bottles.
But we do think that she's lucky to have him. And the best reason for this is that, Sophie, you're getting the absolute best version of Jon. We've never seen him like this with anyone else.
It was clear from the start of their relationship that this one was going to be different. Our dinner conversations had turned from how he could get out of a relationship to how he could make sure he was staying in this one.
We really can see the positive effect that you have on him. He's definitely happier, he's sometimes earlier, and the universe does not always conspire against him.
And we can see why. Sophie's not only clever, she's funny, she's kind, she's very easy to talk to, she's beautiful to look at, and she owns a small property portfolio.
So we're sure we speak for all of Jon's friends when we say that we're so happy that you met Jon, that you looked past that random picture of him on a bunk bed on his dating app and you thought, yep, this could be the man for me.
We appreciate this can't have been an easy process planning a wedding with Jonathan Hart. Definitely a good test for your married life.
We're really grateful that you didn't call the whole thing off, but just a few days ago, after 1 year of preparation, Jon was still editing the wedding playlist instead of writing his speech.
I had the pleasure of meeting some of Sophie's nearest and dearest at her Hindu, and what an absolutely amazing group of friends she's collected over the years. It's obvious that they all think the absolute world of her, and Jon is a very lucky man to be inheriting such a lovely group of friends.
Now we can see though that some of Sophie's friends are looking a bit concerned. You can see it in their eyes, they're thinking, but are we lucky to have him? They're thinking, why didn't we speak to these people before we let him come in? Well, we say to you, what kind of friends are you? What were you thinking?
Of course, that's not what we really think. It's not. No, but everything we've said is true, and there is so much more that we could have said and it couldn't fit in, and if anyone wants to know, it will be at the bar later. But the truth is that Jon Hart has stolen our hearts, and the majority of our friends.
Because everyone wants to be friends with Jon. Jon sees the best in people. He's genuinely interested in other people. He's an excellent conversationalist, and he can basically get along with anyone.
He's one of the funniest people you'll ever meet. Whether he's just talking about his everyday life or cutting into other people with some witty retorts, he will never fail to make you laugh out loud. He also finds himself hilarious. Even when you're laughing at him.
And you're always laughing at him.
You're still laughing at him.
But he will always show up for you, even if you left an hour ago. But if you are still there, he'll be the first person to compliment your new haircut or to notice the new pair of shoes that you're wearing.
And of course, no one spins the tunes quite like Raise the Roof Disco.
Don't put pressure. So actually, Sophie, we're not sure we're ready for you to take fully on Project Jon.
You're going to have to share him. I'd like you to all raise your glasses in a toast. To Jon and Sophie.
Jon and Sophie.